You nervous, gents? Don't be daft. Right, thanks for coming along. Split transmission, fantastic event. It's free as well, and to be fair, if you get anything for free these days, it's always worth it. So I'd like to thank Split Festival, obviously, for putting this on, as well as the Bunker, and Generator in Newcastle as well, all of which champion kind of the holy trinity, if you will, of things in the northeast for championing the cause for not only good music, but good, young, up-and-coming music from the past, the present, and the future, and probably beyond. If you want to kind of go in the whole time travel direction, there is a time travel machine just outside. If you want to, maybe during the interval, go and have a little look at that, or possibly the Botanical Gardens. But that's not why we're here. We're here, of course. Oh, sorry. No, there's a time travelling museum just outside. It's not a time travelling museum per se, but there is a time travelling thing there. I mean, if you want. I mean, I can blag this for $5 if you want to go and check that out. That's good. So we've got an extra special treat for you as well, with 3, well, not so much for you, more for the bands, 3 guests. Firstly, my partner in crime at Spark FM, and of course the Bunker, it's Emma Howe. How are you doing, my darling? Thank you. Emma, of course, works at the Bunker and champions and petitions the cause for all kind of bands. You do it tirelessly, Emma, as well, don't you? Sometimes for no pay, sometimes without any sleep. Just getting on the back of all the bands and really pushing them to the places that should and ultimately will go. And also we've got David Byrne, not of Talking Heads fame, it's the other one from Detroit Social Club. Played thank you. A local chap from Detroit Social Club, got his own record studio, writes his own stuff. In fact, played last year's Split as well. So if nothing else, it's maybe something that you can kind of strive to achieve. And third, and finally, last not but least, is Mr. Tom Robinson from BBC 6 Music, ladies and gentlemen. He needs no introduction, but I'll give him one nonetheless. Of course, is always promoting up-and-coming bands. And in fact, just last week, just this week, I listened on the Listen Again on the BBC iPlayer. So I think it went out between 1 and 3 in the morning. And it's still there, 2 hours specially dedicated to the talent in the northeast, including all of the bands playing here today as well, I believe. So we'd like to thank you for coming along. And what they're going to do is they're going to give it a bit of feedback, not necessarily in a kind of X-Factor style. They're not going to say, you're rubbish, get off, what's your backstory, I don't care whether your hamster's died, you don't need any of that, you're here to just play your songs and stuff. I want to hear your heart, I would wash your feet, I would be your servant, just to earn my keep, to earn my place in your palace, my place in your mind, to learn a little how to be nice. I need a little time. No, I'm trying to say, 'cause I deserve more than one day. I would hear your
saying everyone can give a big congratulations on just getting engaged. Obviously I'm a massive fan of you lads, not just because you're from South Shields. The dynamics of the band work really well. I've always thought, whether Union Choir or Railway Club, but Railway Club have really seemed to have taken hold of that, and it really works. The chemistry between us on stage is excellent. The structure of your songs as well, and the set, I feel like I was pulled in different directions all the way through that. You go from gentle and gloomy to a little bit soulful, and tempos throughout, just keeps the set interesting all the way through. I really enjoyed it, thank you.
Cheers. My turn? Yeah. I think Grant did really well, considering he's had about 10 Stellas before the game. He's the only drummer I've seen on like an afternoon gig where he's got about 3 different varieties of drinks behind his drum kit. Kept on popping up with a can, then a bottle, and then a glass and all that. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it's nice to see a band like kind of stepping out of the usual setup of a band, but like in it not feel like it's a gimmick, because there's a lot of bands that like sort of they've got these really wonderful instruments in and don't use them well enough, and it just kind of feels as though they're just doing it for that sake. Thought the songwriting was brilliant. I thought the dynamics of it all was great. It was like kind of pop and accessible, and but without using any sort of cheesy elements of like typical pop. Like, do you know what I mean? You didn't rely on the big choruses or anything like that. It was really interesting. Like, so I really enjoyed it. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the instrumentation. You know, when Richard goes onto the Glock and you suddenly get this kind of high-end stuff happening in there, right in with the drums. That works beautifully. And I also love David's mandolin playing. It's beautiful texture when it interplays with your guitar in there. I think Martin's a great front man. As you can see, he just delivers it straight to us. He looks us in the eye. He isn't too shy looking away and all the rest of it. And then we've got like the killer rhythm section of Glenn on bass and Grant on the drums, really just tied in there, and Grant nailing it down on the drums. No fancy stuff, just keeping the whole thing rooted to the ground. That's brilliant.
So it's the Railway Club from South Shields. The other day I was walking past Independent down Homeside in Sunderland and I spotted a club. Alas, what was it called? The Railway Club. I thought, I'll ask them this. So, is it the Railway Club because there's a club just 200 metres down here?
Yep.
Is that?
Yeah. We stole the name from it.
Stole the name.
We sat outside the Plugged In one day when we still had a different name, going, yeah, that Railway Club would be a class name for a band. And then a couple of months later we nicked it.
At the minute we're in like a massive legal dispute with them. It's torturous.
Yeah, they've got like the legal eagles on it, like they've got a crack team of solicitors. So this is fact. Every band that I spoke to beforehand, I said, who are you looking forward to seeing the most? They said Mousy. So ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause please.
Hi, we're Mousy, this is Sal.
Was obviously brilliant. The drummers are absolutely amazing. Like, absolutely, I could sit and watch them all day. They look confident. The vocals are brilliant. All that sort of stuff. So I like the use of the samples, the rhythms on the first song. It's like it gives it a bit more interest than just, do you know what I mean, standing there playing guitar and stuff.
I know all of us were pretty much sitting the whole way through that, like nodding dogs. You're really infectious. Every time I've seen you play, you've been like that. But that's one of the best performances I've seen you put on. The harmonies between you two are absolutely outstanding, I think. Don't know whether that's the sisterly brotherly thing going on there, but they really come out well. Benji, you drive that from the back. I think the North East is really blessed with drummers, but you're a perfect example of the musicianship that the whole band have got all together. You make me do funny things with your feet, Daisy, under the table. I'm going to be knocking their moves out tonight, I think. You really remind me, you always have, but I went to Glastonbury this year, and it's the first time I've seen the band, and I made sure I went to see them first, Naked and Famous. And you're the kind of band that if I went to a festival like that, I'd want to kick it off with a band like yourself. So, congratulations, I thought it was an excellent set.
Yeah, I'm agreeing here about great vocals, sharp songwriting, great playing. The whole thing's sharp, tight, sexy. There's lovely songwriting, and also the announcements, the shape of the set. You thought about how one song is going to go into another, and as Thomas is finishing back announcing the previous song, already Daisy's beginning the next run a cappella, and there's these guitar chords coming up underneath, and it's really well thought out. That pays off enormously. And the other thing I thought was really nice, I don't know if you agree, but the spirit between the band, when they were chatting between the numbers, you could tell they all really liked each other. They were all kind of, that's quite rare, because sometimes bands are just stuck with each other because they're in the same group. But these were obviously a bunch of people like a gang, and it made you want to be part of their gang, which is great.
Right, I can guarantee you, it's nerve-wracking enough being on the stage when you're in a band. I can guarantee you it's enough of nerves on the stage when you're just comparing like I am. When you're 17 years old, and nervous as it is, was that a giggle? She's Cush. It's another one from South Shields, folks. She's Cush. Right, with tales of angst, beautiful, intimate songs. The first time we've ever been on the radio was with me as well. And I was very, very impressed. In fact, I was blown away. I'll not play it down. As was Emma. And I think it doesn't really take much to know that you're onto something. She is. You'll find out in about 15 minutes' time. 17 years old, alone with a guitar and a bag full of nerves, even though she's got no need to be. A generous and warm reception, please, Natasha Hawes.
Watched you leave, and I felt the dark, and you left my side, you took my heart, yeah, I watched you leave, and I felt the dark. Took my heart, what I did on me, for it to end this way.
Since Natasha walked into Spark FM after being found at the buskers, Nathan knew straight away, I knew straight away that she's got an amazing talent, whether it be touching vocals or the story she has behind the song, her songwriting capabilities. Natasha, they're far beyond her years. You know, you've had some comparisons recently that have been really, some would say generous, but I wouldn't.
I've literally still got goosebumps, and I've obviously met your brother, and I hear a lot about him through Sarah, and I genuinely had tears in my eyes, didn't I? I was actually crying, so there's literally nothing. I think even the nerves which are evident still make it part of that sort of sensitivity, that kind of fragileness. I love it. I'm just going to keep on rambling on unless Tom starts talking.
Yeah, I don't think the fact of how old you are has anything to do with it. You know, Paul Weller, Steve Winwood had #1 hits when they were 16. Somebody is talented regardless of what age they are, and that's what we're looking at here is talent. I love the fact that you take risks. You said, I'm going to do a bit of a gamble here and play something new. Why not? You know, you hear that's what art is all about. It's about taking risks, and that's what catches our breath and makes us go, oh, did she just sing that? I can't believe that. And I love the fact on your webpage it says this is a non-musician who makes music fueled by crappy experiences in the northeast area. Acoustic, finger-picking, sarcastic ear-pleasers. And you call your fans on Facebook your whores. And you see, I didn't see any of that in the way you talk to us. You could be a bit more daring and sarcastic and nasty and, you know,
I usually am, but I thought I'd tone down me.
No, don't be nice to us. I don't think that's what anybody wants, is it?
Right, Natasha Hawes, how the devil are you?
I'm not that well. I feel sick with nerves, not just like a tummy bug. I feel sick with nerves.
So it's not genuine illness, it's just
nerves.
bona fide edginess. Is it an eager anticipation?
No, I genuinely want to run away out of the building right now. I think I'll be fine once I've done my first song, but right now I don't want to be here.
You're only 17, and as you say, you've got a couple of demos together, and everyone's been raving about them. It did get you your first ever radio interview was with me, so I mean, I'm not saying, but I probably am saying it's mostly down to me. Probably 80% me, 20% you.
I'd say more like 90-10.
90-10. Well, we can haggle on that when the camera's off. So you're nervous. You're looking lovely in your fuchsia play suit. Very good.
Fuchsia?
Well, it's raspberry.
It's like canny purple. But
That's not purple.
I've got blindness.
Are you colourblind?
No, I just said it.
Right, band from Middlesbrough. No drummer. Lots of analogue equipment. Oh, excuse me, that's the curry. Right, actually, I'll tell you what, Tom, you play a bit of guitar, don't you? You do? Do you fancy maybe getting up in a bit and doing a few songs? No, you don't have to do it with them. After they're done, you can get up and maybe do a few. You fancy that? Does anyone fancy Mr. Tom Robinson from BBC Six Music to get up and do some music? Yeah? It's peer pressure, Tom. Fooled to peer pressure. Right, without further ado, a danceable, yet dark, heavily influenced from kind of, what would you say, sort of posty punk, but there's a lot of kind of LCD sound system, Tiger and Soulwax in there, if you're into your kind of niche, credible hipster electro. I know. It's Comets.
I think it's like a band that's really clearly set out its goals, it's achieving the goals, it's well on the way towards them. I think it's a great project. I couldn't see any way that you could do it any better than what you're doing.
Cheers.
Cheers, thank you. For me personally, from the selection process to now, you've been one of the biggest highlights for me of this whole event. When we sat down and listened to you, there was no doubt that you were going to be one of the picks. But I think that was the same for everyone on the panel. You've got that hybrid new wave that I absolutely love. You're right up my street. You're like a Joy Division on acid. It's absolutely awesome. Perfect.
I always like a girl in band. It always just seems a bit more. Is it a cynical ploy to get a lady involved?
I think especially in his part.
He's
tried it on with the numerous times.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting, really.
You do look like the man who will never give up.
No, that's still
like a dog with a bone.
Yeah, in more than one ways, I'm sure.
Yep.
Right.
Anyway, without further ado, a band that Tom Robinson has just described, his words, not mine, as a band in a separate league to everyone else, Athletes in Paris!
Thank you very much, guys. Listen, I know Yoakum's got bad breath, but come on, move forward, will you? Please. The first time was never enough, but 2 times doesn't mean I'm in love. 3 times is nearly too much, too much of my air.
Thanks very much. We've been the Lake Poets. You can check us out on the various online places. Hope you enjoy the rest of the evening and stick around for the split parade. This is a song called City by the Sea. Thanks a lot.
From a city by the sea, and its shores and its water have become a part of me. And when I die, it's where I want to be, in a grave in that city by the sea. I was born, I was raised upon the tide, and the salt and the sea air, it warms me up inside. Upon the sand there is no place to hide from the view where the ocean meets the sky. It's cold and it's hard where I come from, and you do what your dad did, or you don't quite belong. Forget all that, 'cause we'll do as we please. There is life in my city by the sea.
Right, I'm here still at the Winter Gardens. They're locking everything down, so I'm going to have to be quick and succinct, which is probably something that I'm not really famed for. I've had an absolutely fantastic day, which is not just talking it up for the sake of it. I was nearly moved to tears by Natasha Hawes and by the Lake Poets, which, if you know me, you know I'm quite the lad. I don't often get tearful or anything, but I was very moved, particularly by those two. We had Mousy, who were epic, as well as Athletes in Paris, so much fun. Who else was there? Oh, Railway Club on first day were magnificent as well. Tom Robinson was raving about them. Oh, who else? Is that everyone? I think I've forgotten people. Our Comets, who were possibly my favourite, or a very, very niche act. I was just really privileged to be here and to be able to compare the day. And Generator, who are like really well connected and pretty much the place to go if you want to promote your music. They need to push everything their way, along with the Bunker, and of course Spark FM, who did their very own bit, myself included, as did Spark TV, and that's what I'm doing here. So that's pretty much all we've got. I'm sure we'll get everything online for you to have a look at. But yeah, I'm Nathan Wood, and I'll see you very shortly.